Good morning, Bravehearts, and good morning, Garfield, New Jersey. Welcome back to Marv in the Morning. You know who we are. You know who I am. Maximiliano Peacecraft is in the building. How are we doing out there, Bravehearts? Welcome back to another glorious day. Thank you, higher power, for keeping me alive this long. It feels so good to be here. I'm so happy to be here, and this is true love that we're making today. Hey, you live or not? We are. My phone's catching up. How we doing out there? We got an excellent episode for you today. Excellent topic today. Should you do a video podcast? Should you be doing video? Should you only be doing audio? We want to know the answers. The complexities of these things, of these simple questions, will determine the outcome of the remainder of your podcast life. So, peep game, and welcome. Actually, let me see if I can do it this way. I can. Hey, there you go. You know, that's one way to skin a cat, right? That's one way. That's one way to do it. Okay. Welcome once again. Marv, the producer, owner and creative director of Bravery Studios, and yeah, I'm feeling energized today, guys. I'm feeling very mondo energized. We have a great topic today. Great things to talk about. The timestamps will be below. Post live if you want to skip ahead to the topic. You want to skip ahead to the meat and potatoes. But yeah, guys, feeling mondo good today. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Leave a comment. Ask me questions. Debate with me. Tell me, hey Marv, I don't like what your opinions on this topic over here. So I want to get into fisticuffs with you about certain topics. I know the music topic was a harder pill to swallow. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of people. A lot of people told me, hey man, I play music. I don't have any issues, bro. Well, listen, guy, you do you. At the end of the day, your podcast is yours. These are my recommendations. These are my experiences that I'm speaking on behalf of. So, yeah, do you, my guy. Do you, of course. Always do you. But here we go. Now, we have the Discord link in the description. Join the Discord. Join the Cord. There you'll be able to communicate with me all day. Debate with me all day if you want to as well. You can post your podcast episodes so I can listen to them. Give them a review. Speak about them here on the Marv in the Morning show. And yeah, so check it out. Jump in there. Jump into Discord. Discord is the new wave. So jump in there, post your videos, your episodes, your links, and let me check out what you got. Show me what you got. Yo, yeah, the daily shoutout. We are here at the daily shoutout moment of the episode. And I want to shout out the SQR podcast. I want to shout out Squirrel Rosenberg particularly. Listen, he recently just dropped the interview that we had done. He interviewed me, and I think it was the best interview I've ever been on. A lot of the key points that I took away from that experience became the episode of how to conduct a great interview. So shout out to Rosenberg. He's been in the game for a minute. I think he's been in the game longer than me. And he knows how to make a guest feel comfortable. He knows how to let them shine. He really takes the cues from each comment you make and turns it into a question. So when I spoke about my childhood and I spoke about a specific part of my childhood, he dug deeper. He got into like questions about. He asked me who was my first love, and I was like, wow, I've never thought I'd been asked that on a podcast before, and I've never spoken about these certain things on camera now. And the guy digs deep, and he calls out all the gems you drop. I really enjoyed that interview, and it just dropped last night, so I wasn't able to watch it yet. But here's a little bit of it here. Squirrel Rosenberg over here.
An honor to be across from you. I read. Let me be honest with you. Your boy
beautiful set that he has here too.
Don't shoot me, but I've been taking yoga. I've crossed over, and one of the the teachers, she said something profound about when you go through your days, you have these small gems that are hidden throughout the days for you to experience. But sometimes we are on this mad race that we miss these gems. And this could have been another mundane podcast for me. And none of my podcasts are mundane. I really treasure the time. So it's an honor to be across from you as we dissect and see the inspiration that's made you who you are.
Likewise.
So as we were talking a little bit behind the scenes.
So yeah, that's a little bit of it there. That's Squirrel speaking. I mean, his set is beautiful. I love the art factory. I love the setting. Like I said, I felt enormously comfortable, like digging into my past with him. And giving sort of the origins of Bravery Studios, Speak Your Mind Radio, and going into all that, and some of the most memorable moments in the history of Bravery Studios and the history of my podcasting journey. It was a great time. And like I said, this guy's one hell of an interviewer, one hell of a journalist, and shout out to him. Make sure you check it out. SQR Podcast on YouTube. And yeah, show him some love. Tell him Marv in the morning sent you. Tell him Marv sent you over there. Check it out when you get the chance, because it was a great interview. It was a lot of funny moments, a lot of heartwarming moments, a lot of camaraderie we shared that day. So yeah, check it out when you get the chance. But if you looked at the video and you saw me in there, that was a couple months ago, and you might have noticed that I was a bit heavier back then. The weight loss journey I've been on for about the past year has been kind of what has loosened me up as far as showing myself in front of the camera again, because I kind of accepted my place for a little while as far as being a business owner and a podcast producer, that my place is behind the camera, not in front of the camera. And I didn't ever think that I would be doing something like this again. I didn't even expect to. But recently, let's say a year ago, probably when we got to Garfield, I started to cook. I started to take walks in the morning. I started to really, try and attempt to lose weight. I had gotten up to like 300 pounds over the course of the pandemic. Everybody gained weight during the pandemic. I was already pretty heavy before the pandemic and just got it even heavier. So the weight loss journey has just been extraordinary, and I'm really proud of myself here. I mean, I got up to 300 pounds. I'm at 140 now. I'm at 140 pounds. So I've lost 60 pounds over the course of a year, from last year to now. 60 pounds through really just intermittent fasting. I think that's the term. I think I called it intermediate fasting the other stream. But intermittent, I think, is the right word for it. I just do it. I don't know what it's called. But I do intermittent fasting. I take walks in the morning. I've been going to the gym sporadically. Not really a lot of gym, just because the time it takes to go to the gym is not always available to me. So I've managed to kind of lose weight my own way, because the traditional, let me go to the gym and get on the treadmill or the elliptical for an hour, that's not something that's always going to be available to me. I'll do it once in a while. When a friend invites me, I'll go to the gym with them or whatnot. But I kind of had to figure out how to manage to lose the weight while also, working an 8 to 8 job. You know what I mean? Being a business owner is an 8 to 8. People complain about 9 to 5. It's just, oh, I work too much. I want to start my own business. Well, you're going to switch over from a 9 to 5 to an 8 to 8 pretty much. Then, by all means, go for it. But it's a lot more work. It's a lot more time. It's a lot more time consuming. You have to dedicate way more time to owning your own business than to, of course, working a 9 to 5 where you clock in and you clock out. There's no clocking out when you own your own business. There is no clocking out. None whatsoever. So, yeah, you want to... The weight loss journey has been awesome, and I feel like I want to include the viewers of this show on this weight loss journey. Instead of go for myself to get the goal is to get to 180, right? That's the right weight for my height, I've been told. So maybe we'll put on the board Tamika. Hey Marv, what's up, Tamika? I miss you so much. So yeah, let's include a text on the screen. Let's add it now. Um, the goal, the weight loss journey, right? Marv's weight. Let's make sure I'm on the right thing here. Weight. Yeah. You're looking good, Marv. Yes. I need to lose 10 pounds. Yes. Let's see here. Let's see what I can put here. Let's do this. I love to laugh at myself, so it's cool. But yes, the weight loss journey. I want you guys to be included in it. We are trying to get to 180. We're at 240 right now. So what is that? 60 pounds. We gotta lose 60 more pounds. And let's go for it. I'm excited. I'm doing it. I'm making it happen, and I'm feeling good doing it. I'm really feeling the best I've felt in years doing this journey. But yeah, so shout out to that. The Valor Room, right above my weight, right there, bong bong bong. You can see the Valor Room donation ticker. We're taking donations for the construction of the additional podcasting room that we're building at the moment. That's not the entirety of the funds that we need to build the room. It's a lot more than that, but that's all I really will take for it. I will ask for. And yeah, we're trying to go for a more modern look. We got the speed racer on the wall. We got the neon lights. We got the sign that says the world is yours. So yeah, there's a link in the description if you guys want to contribute. And we'll put your name on the wall there. We'll write your name on the wall as a contributor to the construction of the Valor Room. If you decide, if you want to join in on the excitement going on over here at Bravery Studios, you know what I mean? We'll make it happen. But okay, let's get into the meat and potatoes of today's episode, which is, should you do a video podcast? Should you do a video podcast? Now, podcasting, traditionally is something that's only available in audio form. If you want to know the origins of podcasting, the pod part comes from the iPod. Yes, before we had the iPhone, we had the iPod. And the iPod was an MP3 player, a device to listen to music. They were very popular at the time when they came out. This really is what set Apple up for their present point. For this present point in time, that device propelled them from being kind of number two to kind of being neck and neck with Microsoft as far as technology and computers and whatnot. So the iPod was a nice, pretty looking MP3 player that, you could listen to music on all the time. You got to download music from iTunes, listen to music right on there, right? George F, yo, my bro, what's up? We got Jeps in the building. How you doing, bro? I almost forgot that your name is George F on YouTube. I want to call you Jeps. But yeah, so the iPod is where the pod and podcast comes from. But how are they related? Well, podcast is kind of a play on broadcast. Broadcasting, of course, is like submitting a signal of a show or a program to people's televisions. That's a broadcast, right? You're broadcasting it across the nation or whatnot, right? Damn, Marv is a papi culo. I don't even know what that means. Or I say things out loud. So anyway, a broadcast is submitting a program across the nation, right? And podcasting originated on the iPod because people would put their recorded conversations onto the iPod, and then people would listen to it on the iPod. That's where the pod and podcasting comes from. So that's why podcasting originated as only audio form. And then as we progressed in time, we started to get video podcasts, mostly on like YouTube. I think Joe Rogan really is what promoted the video form of podcasts, because before it was only audio. And I've run into a lot of traditionalists who say like podcasting should only be audio. It should be just listened to. It's the traditional, it's the way it was created. So it should remain only on audio form. And it's cool, Jeps. It's cool. But as time progressed, yes, we got video forms of podcasting as we progress, right? the traditionalists, I get where they're coming from. Hey, podcasting should be almost like radio where it's only listened to. You shouldn't do video because when you're doing audio, you transport your listener into the room with you. It's like he's sitting at the table with you listening to you guys speak, right? But I really feel like that's kind of a stagnant place to put yourself if you say to yourself, this is podcasting, this is all it can be, this is all it will be, and we should not evolve the medium. We shouldn't grow the medium into other places. I think you're kind of like missing the evolution naturally of any medium, kind of. Like if you listen to music, when music videos came out, the same argument was kind of made that, hey, music should be audio only, because that, once the audience started seeing the face of these celebrities, it stopped being about the music. It started being about the look, the celebrity, the person. A celebrity. What is a celebrity? A celebrity is someone who's celebrated, right? I learned that the other day. But how you call it? So you're putting yourself in a box, which I hate saying that. I told Jason that the other day. I hate saying putting yourself in a box. But if you decide to do audio only, I just think you're putting yourself in a box and you're missing the natural evolution of the medium. I'm going to take you back even further in time because I love history, right? I'm going to take you back even further in time. Early 1900s, the richest people in America were the people who owned the train companies, the people who own trains, because you could transport people. Everyone wants to travel. Everyone wants to be transported. These guys made billions when thousands were millions, right? So they made billions, and these people are probably still rich today. Their families probably are still rich to this day off of trains, right? So what happens? We get Henry Ford, the founder, the first person to mass produce cars. He goes to the train companies and says, "Hey, you guys should invest in what I'm doing because, look, we've developed automotive vehicles for fast travel." And the train companies, the owners of these companies said to them, "No, we're not in the car business. We're in the train business. We don't want to get into cars. That's it's not our thing. We want to stick to what we know, and it's making us a bunch of money. We're not going to get into cars. Forget about cars." So, what do we know about history? What do you see on the road every day outside your window? What are you driving next? What do you drive? What's in your driveway right now? Everybody owns a car. Every adult owns a car. See, the train companies messed up because they didn't look at the natural evolution of what they were doing. They thought they were in the train industry, but no, they were in the transportation industry. They were in the transportation industry, and the transportation industry was just about to evolve into the next step from trains to cars. And they missed out. They missed out on that. They missed out completely off of that. They totally missed the train. Pun intended. They totally missed the train because they were so stuck in this place. Like they just wanted to stick to what they know. So how to bring that back into podcasting? When you say to yourself, I only want to do audio podcasts because I'm a podcast purist and podcasting needs to be audio form only. I'm never doing video. I want to stick to what I know. I want to stick to what it is. I want to, do it for the culture of podcasting. Keep it audio. Keep it audio. You're missing the train then at that point. You're missing the train. You're missing the point. You're missing the natural evolution of the medium. You're totally missing it. You're missing the whole point, bro. You're missing it because you're not in the podcasting business. Just because you have a podcast does not mean you're in the podcast business. You're in the entertainment business. And guess what? Podcasting is one of the only forms of entertainment that you can absorb multiple ways. You can absorb it by just listening, or you can absorb it by listening and watching. Two ways, right? You can't watch a movie in a car while you're driving. Or you could, but I wouldn't recommend it. You can't play a video game in the car. You can't play a video game. You could kind of play it outdoors, but not really. Nobody, you don't see adults walking around with Game Boys. Podcasting is the only thing you can absorb while doing other things. And each form of podcasting is for a different audience, right? Audio podcasts are great for people at the gym, people at work, people taking long commutes, people driving in general. Bro, I'd rather listen to a podcast in the car now than listen to music. Just because, I listen to music in the car, but, eventually I'm tired of like skipping through tracks and trying to find what I feel like listening to, what fits my mood for that moment. But if I find a long podcast to listen to on a long drive, then I'm stellar. I don't have to keep digging into my phone while driving to find something to listen to. Video podcasts are good with comedians to see their reactions. I agree with that too. So that's the other thing with podcasting, right? Sometimes I will listen to a podcast and I will want to see it after again. I listen to it first and then I'd want to see it because it's like, wow, I want to see what was going on in that room because this sounds hilarious. They're discussing things I can't see. So now I'm double dipping, and this is the other beauty of podcasts. There's a reason why podcasters release their audio version first, then their video version, because people can't wait and they'll listen to the audio. But then when the video version drops, they'll listen to it again just because they want to see what was going on in that room. So yeah, good point, Cisco. Good point. Cisco Tigerian. We got a Game of Thrones fan in the chat. Shout out to you, man. Make sure you subscribe. But yeah, so you can get people to double dip on your episodes, and you have twice the views, twice the listens, twice the clicks. It's only benefiting you. But if you decide I only want to do audio, then you're only catering to half the population of podcast listeners. People driving, people at work, people listening at the gym, people, taking long commutes, if I didn't say that already. You're only catering to half the audience. It's a different lane. Now what are the cases where I would think you shouldn't do video? I think that a scripted podcast or a story-based podcast should probably not do video. I think a story-based podcast shouldn't do video unless it's like an animated thing that they do. But I think when I listen to like a murder mystery podcast or I listen to any type of story-based podcast, I'd rather be transported to that place for the podcast speaking of than seeing four people sitting in a room reading a script with paper in front of them. At that point, I'm like, no, you should probably just stay audio, because when you're listening to something like an audio book, you get transported. You really get transported to that place. We had a great podcast here in Bravery Studios called The Real Shell Shock, and she talked about true crime stories. And let me tell you, just listening to her podcast, I really was there. I really pictured these horrific events. True crime podcasts are way too popular, but they're good. I mean, what are you going to do? But they're immensely popular. What about D&D Game Sesh podcast? I think D&D Game Sesh podcast could be video also, just because some of the reactions, some of the things people wear, I love seeing them do cosplay during that. I love seeing the reactions. I like seeing the GM, the game master, like kind of doing his expressive. I really like a really charismatic game master, right? Is that the term for a game master or dungeon master? I don't really know. I'm not the biggest D&D guy, but I know of it and I love watching it. But I like a really charismatic guy hosting the game, right? And I'd rather see that on video too. But I'll listen to it as well. Listening to it is fine, but it's pretty cool watching it too. That could be both forms. Audio podcasts barely pop up on my YouTube algorithm. Actually, never. Yeah, I don't know the specifics of how well do audio podcasts do on YouTube. I don't know. You can use both DM and GM. Okay. I don't know the specifics of how well audio only podcasts do on YouTube, but I would imagine if you have video form that it would do better. Just because YouTube people will watch at home. People will watch YouTube at home. Now, YouTube is moving towards shorter videos. YouTube is kind of leaning closer and closer to becoming like TikTok. It's almost trying to be now with shorter videos, just because TikTok is on fire. And TikTok is the micro dosage video. You have 1 minute videos. I think you can go higher than that, but I would say you want to do a TikTok video, make it a minute or less. Um, but yeah, so everything is moving towards shorter pieces of content. So what happens there at that point? Well, you have your audio form, the long version of your episode on Apple and Spotify, and then you can take the highlights, the 1 minute clips, put that on social media, put that on YouTube Shorts, put it on YouTube in general. You know what I mean? Take micro parts of your episode. Your episode should actually be available in many different ways to absorb, because if you're recording for an hour, you have so much great content in that hour. You know, let's say you're doing half an hour to an hour long episodes. You can make a lot of great highlights off of that. Those could become shorter videos for social media and for YouTube Shorts. So realistically, I think video helps a lot for that, because I don't know if I'd pause in front of an audio with just the sound bars moving on Instagram when I'm scrolling, or TikTok. I don't know if I'd scroll for that. I just like short clips. I feel that should be kept on TikTok. I don't know what YouTube's goal is ultimately, but I think YouTube is losing a lot of users. I just think YouTube is kind of losing out to kind of TikTok right now, just based off the fact that TikTok's actually being used more than Google now for searching. Because I looked up how to. I was doing some home improvement stuff, and I was looking up how to do it on TikTok, because when you watch a how-to on TikTok, it's straight to the point. When you watch a how-to on YouTube, I gotta be told to subscribe. I gotta sit through the guy's sponsored ad. Hey, this home improvement video is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends, or whatever. And then so TikTok cuts through the fluff. You get a micro dosage of a how-to video. Even what I'm doing right now, let's face it, what I'm doing right now, I had a whole spiel in the beginning of this video, but I had the timestamp to skip ahead. But yeah, so YouTube, you kind of have to sit through a lot to get to the point of the video. You have to sit through a lot of it to get there. Where on TikTok, boom, I want to look up how to cook something. A 1 minute video on how to cook it. Thank God it got to the point. YouTube tries hard to be like cable TV, as TikTok is still in the Wild West right now. Yeah, TikTok is definitely in the Wild West. TikTok is 100% in the Wild West. It's still new. It's still growing. It might change. It's going to change. Every social media changes over time. But right now, it's definitely the Wild West. I asked my client, a couple clients that are doing really well on TikTok, and I said, hey, what's your secret? What are you doing? And the guy's telling me, well, I'm posting consistently 3 times a day. I was like, you're posting 3 times a day on TikTok? That's a lot, man. But it's working. And I guess TikTok is a consistency thing. It's just, since it's micro doses of content, you can post a whole bunch of videos a day and it'll do well, apparently. But wow, that's got to be burnout inducing to have so much content put out there. But hey, it's working. TikTok has billions of users, you know what I mean? So it's crazy, and it's still growing. It's still growing. But you take yourself out of that equation when you decide to say to yourself, I'm not doing video. I hear that sound/music helps a lot. As far as TikTok goes, or as far as podcasting goes, and those robot voices, I think they work to catch someone's attention quick, because from what I've heard, the average duration of people, how much a person will watch on TikTok, is 3 seconds. So if you only have 3 seconds to catch someone's attention, having that little robot voice in the first second of the video might catch their attention quicker. Yeah, TikTok might catch their attention quicker. So that's why it's imperative to kind of like keep it short, get to the point, have a little robot voice in the beginning to keep people's attention. Yeah, it's wow. When you're discussing 3 seconds duration, like view watch time on your videos, that's nuts. I remember when we used to struggle to get people to watch 7-minute long videos on YouTube, when everybody was like, hey, you got to keep your video at 7 minutes. That's the most someone can watch on a YouTube video before they get bored. That was 7 minutes. That was the attention span of people maybe 10 years ago. 10 years ago, right? On YouTube. Now we're talking about 3 seconds of someone's attention span. 3 seconds is where you got to catch their attention. You have 3 seconds to get someone's attention on TikTok. 3 seconds. So fathom that, man. Fathom that. Just fathom that, bro. But hey, this is the game we've decided to play as content creators. We are at the mercy of whatever platform we are on, right? You're at the mercy of whatever platform you decide to be on. And you want to play the game, you got to play by their rules until something else comes along, right? Until we get a new platform newer than TikTok where you can only upload 1 second videos and you have 30 microseconds to catch people's attention. Hopefully we never get to that point. But the attention span of human beings is definitely getting shorter and shorter all the time. But how you call it? Yeah, so that's the spiel. That's the spiel. That's pretty much the crux of it. You doing video for your podcast, a video form of your podcast, will open you up to different audiences and allow you to make highlights that you can put on social media. So I recommend it. I do recommend it. Now, there's certain caveats, though, because if you're doing a true crime podcast, then I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend you doing it for any story-based podcast, anything scripted. I wouldn't recommend it for any scripted-based podcast. At that point, I would say you should get a nice artwork done for the cover of that episode. If it's a murder mystery, maybe there's a detective and he's looking at a crime scene, and try to get that artwork done. Maybe you can find someone on Fiverr to do that, and let that be the cover or the whole YouTube video if you decide to put it on YouTube. But yeah, you think with how easy anyone can become famous off viral videos on TikTok negatively affects society as a whole? Example, doing anything for views? I don't know, honestly. I don't know. I think I know about podcasting, and that's the lane I stay in. But society as a whole, I'm almost certain. I'm almost 100% certain that when TV came around, the generation that didn't have TV said that TV was going to destroy society or negatively impact society. And I don't want to be that grumpy old man that's kind of always xenophobic about any new technology that pops up. So I try to stay positive about it. Is it great that anyone can get famous for doing anything on the internet or on social media? I think it's good that we have more opportunities for success than we did 20 years ago. In the 90s, if you didn't get signed to a record label or if you weren't on TV, then you weren't getting famous. And you had no other chance to do it. You better meet the right people, shake the right hands, get in the right rooms, and sign the correct contracts, even though there is no correct contract. They always screw you over. That was the only way you could get famous back in the day. Social media came around. You can now have a huge audience on your own without the help of a giant label, record company, TV production studio, movie studio. You can get famous that way now. You weren't able to do that before. But is it negatively hurting society? I'm sure that every advance in technology hurts society in some way, but it also helps society in some way. There's probably a yin and yang to that question. There's a yin and yang. Cars are great for transportation, but they're horrible for the environment. Electric cars are good for the environment, but they're horrible for long travels where you have to charge your car for like an hour because you wanted to drive from Jersey to Boston. Now you got to sit an hour long to get to Boston. You got to stop every hour to fill your car up for an hour so you can drive to Boston. So yeah, I think every advance in technology is good and bad for society. To keep the answer shorter, long story short, right? But yeah, guys, that's the crux of the episode. Do I think you should do video? Yes. Do I think every podcast needs to do video? No. And only if you're doing kind of conversational things. When you're doing scripted, I think you should transport your listener to another realm, and him seeing you on video will kind of like let him know this is just a show. Good points. Thanks, Cisco. Appreciate that. And thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by, bro. Shout out to Jeps. Shout out to Cisco. Shout out to Tamika. Shout out to everybody that's watching. You know, appreciate it. I am doing these shows mainly to help people in the podcasting world. I own a podcasting studio. We're Bravery Studios here in New Jersey, North Jersey, 15 minutes from New York City. I get asked these questions all day, every day from my clients. We have 20 podcasts that record here, a big community, probably 100 people with all podcasts combined. It comes out to like 100 people that record here weekly in the studio. And these are just the questions that I get asked all the time here in the studio. And we got Scarlett in the chat too. How you doing, Scarlett? How you doing, love? So yeah, these are the questions that I get asked all the time in the studio. And having a YouTube series where you can watch and get the answers right away without having to ask me in person, or you can just watch the entirety of the series, it makes life a lot easier. Love to hear it. Yeah, man, I love doing this too, man. For people that weren't here earlier, I put my weight right there. I'm 240 pounds. My goal is to get to 180. So every episode you watch, let's hope that number goes down, right? If it goes up one week, I'm going to be entirely honest with you, and you'll know for sure. I don't have anything to hide. But let's keep this number going down over here, right? Let's get down to 180 right there. We got 60 pounds to go. So maybe that'll be more incentive to keep people watching. You know, you got to give people an incentive to watch. Not just the lesson, but the incentive. But yes, indeed. And love doing this. And I have missed being in front of the camera. I do still get Twitch. I do still go live on Twitch at Bravery Arcade. But now it's just kind of like for fun. I used to treat it like a job, but now it's definitely just for fun. I play whatever I want now. It's not like any strategic growth happening on Twitch. So running the studio is my full-time thing, and I think doing this is awesome because I get to speak about what's going on in the studio and big up my clients and shout them out and everything. So thank you, Scarlett. Appreciate that. So guys, make sure you join the Bravery Studios Discord. The link is in the description of this video. You can check it out there. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit the notification bell. Leave a comment if you want to debate the facts with me. Debate my points with me. You know, you wanna say, Marv, I don't agree with anything you're saying up here. Tell me in the comments. I'll get back to you. And if you want to submit your podcast episodes to me, you can use Discord to post your episodes, and I will review them live on YouTube on this show. If I like what I'm hearing, I'll review it. You know what I mean? And if I think it's worthy of discussing and giving you tips and advice for how to do it, I'll do that too. But yeah, guys, it's been real. It's been a good one. Let's leave out on True Love We're Making. Yes. I like DJing too. I need a little turntable for the studio. I'm in desperate need of one. But yeah, guys, it's been real. Thank you for being here. Thank you for kicking it with me. I'll catch you tomorrow. Tomorrow's episode is, how long should my podcast episodes be? Find out mañana, Bravehearts. We are going to hit that old dusty trail. Aesop. I'll have that answer for you tomorrow, Aesop. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you subscribe, bro. Peace out.